Hey up guys, so today's movie I'm going to be discussing on the channel is the latest film in the Mission Impossible franchise, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. This is the 7th film in the franchise and I believe it's the 4th film directed by Christopher McQuarrie, and once again sees Tom Cruise return to play IMF agent Ethan Hunt. The plot of this film sees Ethan and his team trotting around the globe trying to acquire two halves of a cruciform key. What is a cruciform key, you ask? Well, it's bad news when it gets into the hands of Gabriel, who's played by Ozark actor Isaiah Morales, who wants to take this key so he can harness the power of a sentient artificial intelligence that's known as the Entity in order for him to establish global dominance. So yeah, it's up to Ethan and his team to stop him. It has been 5 years since we've had a Mission Impossible movie, okay? 5 years! And where the franchise left us with the previous film, Fallout, okay, they really outdid themselves with that film. So anticipation levels for this movie were sky high. So high, in fact, that Tom Cruise had to motorcycle off a cliff and base jump for real just to get audiences to go to the cinema to see it. And oh my freaking Christ, this movie is spectacular. With Dead Reckoning and Top Gun Maverick, Tom Cruise may legitimately be cinema's biggest lifeline since the pandemic happened. I think even Steven Spielberg said, "Thank you, Tom Cruise, you have helped keep cinema alive." Because with the reputation that Tom Cruise has garnered over the past few years, people are willing to leave the comfort of their own homes and pay money to see Tom Cruise do the craziest shit on the biggest screen possible. Say what you will about Tom Cruise, but the man really is a gift to cinema, okay? We need to cherish him because in so many ways, he is a one of a kind. Like, there is nothing that he is not willing to learn in order to enhance an audience's enjoyment levels of a movie. Like, the things that he does in this movie, they range from all over the place, from like sleight of hand magic tricks to jumping off a cliff and parachuting down. And there's even a scene where he is a horse whisperer and gets a horse off the flat ground and stands up. Like, the man is an equestrian as well. What can't he do? So yeah, mad props and respect needs to go to Tom Cruise. So yeah, it probably comes as no surprise that I really enjoyed Dead Reckoning Part 1. It is a long movie at 2 hours and 45 minutes, but Christopher McQuarrie is a master of pacing, okay? This film absolutely flew by. There was no moment where I was bored or thought that it dragged. Unlike the cruciform key, this is just one half of a two-part story, so some people might be worried that it might suffer from a lack of conclusion, but this film totally stands by itself. Like, where it leaves you is very satisfying and just hungry for more. Although you gotta wonder as the credits roll, how the hell are they gonna top this one in terms of spectacular stunts? Bitch, they crashed a train for real in this movie. You just know that Tom Cruise has something up his sleeve planned for Dead Reckoning Part 2, which I presume is gonna be his last outing in this franchise. Not to sound ageist, but the man is in his 60s now, and even just saying out loud, I feel like Tom Cruise would happily keep making these types of movies until he's unable to make them or until they kill him. But yeah, he does have to stop making them at some point, and Dead Reckoning Part 2 might be the natural stopping point for Ethan Hunt's story. So you just know he's gonna save the biggest, most grandest, most ambitious stunt or action set piece for the last film. He's gonna want to finish on a bang. What is he cooking up for Dead Reckoning Part 2? If you have any ideas or theories on those stunts, let me know in that comment section down below. But yeah, I don't doubt that the set pieces will be even more jaw-dropping than the ones we get in this one. As always, the cast in this is great. I mean, Tom Cruise, duh, but like the returning players like Ving Rhames, Simon Pegg, Vanessa Kirby, Rebecca Ferguson, they're all great, and I particularly really loved the addition of new character Hayley Atwell as the thief Grace. And like, if you introduce a new character 7 movies in, you know, you're sometimes worried, can they integrate into the cast quite nicely? And she does a wonderful job. Like, from the first scene she has with Tom Cruise, you can feel the sizzling chemistry between them. It's really well done, and she bounces off all the other players really well. Hayley Atwell was fantastic in this. Another thing that I really liked about the film and the story is that even though it was like filmed during the pandemic and delayed, like the actual storyline does feel quite relevant and timely. Like, the threat is artificial intelligence becoming, you know, sentient, and given all the developments we've seen in AI recently, it does feel like a very real and ever-present threat, something that makes a lot of people quite nervous. And so even though the Mission Impossible movies are about escapist fun, it's nice that they do have some real world substance. I'd also go as far as saying that this is probably one of the funniest of the Mission Impossible movies. Like, there's definitely some humorous moments in this film, like there's this whole set piece in Rome in a yellow car, which is absolutely priceless. And I don't think it was intended to be funny, but there is a moment in this film towards the end, which is very Wrath of Khan, you know, Khan! You know when it happens, but yeah, I was just like, I'm getting Wrath of Khan. I do have some negatives, but they are just like the nittiest of picks. There's a few times where suspension of disbelief gets tested. The opening scene, which takes place at this massive like government facility with hundreds of like office workers tapping away on the typewriters, and they've got a clear view of this office in this glass window thing, and these green bombs go off in it, and I'm like, so not one of these hundreds of people on their typewriters just looked up and noticed the green smoke in the office and thought, maybe we should call security, just check they're okay. Or when a character falls backwards off a high-speed moving train, which they themselves have tampered with. I'm not sure if they knew how fast the train was going. And I know they have a little timer on the watch which tells them when they need to jump, but it's the arrogance of just like closing your eyes and nonchalantly falling gracefully back off a moving train onto a truck, where I'm just like, no, sorry, I don't buy it. No human being is that confident. Also, there's a couple times where Christopher McQuarrie overdoes the whole fake out thing. You know, when a character's in peril, like say a high-speed train's about to crash into them and they're trapped in a car, or they're, you know, trapped in a train carriage that's about to fall off a cliff, and it cuts to the train smashing into the car, or the train falling off the cliff, and then you see the characters fine and dandy. Like, you don't actually see the close shave of them getting out of the situation. You just think, oh god, are they in the car? And then it cuts to them being absolutely fine. And that's fine to do once, you know, like to you know play with the audience's suspense and tension. But when you overplay it, it kind of takes out the impact of, you know, the situation. It's fun to watch the characters actually encounter the close shave. You know, we want to see the moment they get out of the car or, you know, jump to save their life. So yeah, there's a couple times I thought it was a little overplayed. Also, there's a scene at an airport where Tom Cruise is like running across the roof of the airport, and you think it's going to build to some cool climax, but it doesn't. It just like dissolves into the next scene. And while the shot does look cool, it doesn't really serve much purpose. So let's ask those 3 questions. Firstly, would I watch it again? Oh, absolutely. I am so excited to watch this again at the cinema with Glenn. He couldn't come to the press screening, but I'm more than happy to pay to see this again. It is that good, and I will definitely be adding the film to my collection at some point. Question 2, do I recommend it for you guys? This is such an easy recommendation for everyone. Like, oh my god, guys, go pay to see Tom Cruise do crazy shit for your amusement. It is the definition of big screen escapism, okay? It is thrilling, fast-paced, gorgeously shot, and the suspense. If you like suspense, guys, just wait till you see the sequence with the train. It's a film that is just so much fun to watch because so much of the action was done for real, and you can tell. So yes, I absolutely recommend it. And third question, what score to give it out of 10? Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 is a blockbuster with a capital B, okay? This film is stunting. A total blast. It left me eager to see the next one. I have a few minor gripes with it, but I'm very forgiving of that because of just how gosh darn entertained I was. So I'm gonna give Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 a score of 8.5 out of 10. But as always, guys, it's just one bloke's opinion. I do want to hear from you. Have you seen Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1? What do you make of it? And also, what is your favorite Mission Impossible film? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you guys have enjoyed the video, help me out with a little like button. For more movie, TV, and Oscars related content, don't forget to click subscribe. And for all things related to movies, TV, the Oscars, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Carefield, and I'll see you next time.